Hello and welcome back to Verbose Mode by TaxCare at Basel 1 2025. My next guest is Tobias. Welcome, Tobias.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And you mentioned a very, very exciting topic, humans versus AI.
Yes.
This is, I think, been on the minds of a lot of people.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What are we talking about?
Sure. My talk today was like developer versus manager. It means similar. It's also versus. Why versus? I mean, together you have to work. So it's with another. And for me, it's also the same for human versus AI. It's human and AI, of course. I mean, AI doesn't work without humans yet, and humans should work with AI.
Yeah, of course. Of course, we should work with AI, but it's not that simple, right? There are challenges in both how we perceive AI, what AI does, what it does to us. What are the biggest challenges?
I mean, from the technical side, I mean, there are a lot of limitations. You are probably aware of. But like from the human side, it's also like, what should I do with AI and what not? What is good and not good with AI? We had some ethic talks today in the morning. I mean, it's really interesting what can be done, and the other side is what should be done with AI.
So what's your take on it? For what AI is good, for what maybe not?
Sure.
What should we do? What shouldn't we do?
Yes.
How do you see it?
I mean, you should try everything or nearly everything with AI. Might be a bit quite too much, but at least try to do some things. I mean, also it's like we heard today, like more like a junior developer that can support you, give more context, provide more information. It makes it quite better for the result. And what would also be interesting for me is like how should we as a human learn to work with AI? I mean, this is quite different for all of us.
This is the most interesting question. So what is different? How should we adapt? What should we pay attention to?
Question.
It's a very, very open-ended.
Yeah.
All right, let's start to break it down.
Yes.
As a developer, right, we have a lot of interfaces that we have.
Yeah.
We write code and do tons of other stuff with the machine, right? Stuff like tests and specs and documentation.
Yes.
So probably AI can help us there. But we also do a lot of other stuff. For example, we communicate with our boss.
Yes,
and it's back to your talk. And we need to manage our time. We need to manage our priorities. We have a lot of other tasks. So what of all that, of our daily life as a developer, in your experience, is better fit for AI? And what's maybe not so good?
I mean, anything that is repetitive, like what can be automated with AI, is quite easy to start with, I think. Like also like documenting things might be helpful. For me, I don't like I mean, it's easy to generate a lot of AI slop, like have a lot of funny sounding things, but if they are true at the end, it really is quite different. So really challenge is like giving the right task, as you said. And I mean, for meetings, it might be helpful to have some summarization if you're interested in, but at the end,
So summary for meetings sounds like a no-brainer. It's good and it's useful. And I think we speak a lot about the stuff that we do with code, like all the cursor and all the AI system engineering, as we call it. And this is kind of being almost commoditized by now.
Sure.
What are some less obvious stuff that AI can really help?
Yeah. What was interesting was a talk like 2 hours ago about like architecture. Can you use AI for building architecture, and how good is AI for really architecting a system? And the other thing is, if AI like has some guardrails like how to build the architecture, can they just rewrite the code base instantly? And so how much do we really need to know in code, and what are like the things we can hand over to the AI? This might change.
My gut feeling would be if we consider AI kind of a junior developer, probably architecture is too big of a task for it right now.
No, I think so, for me also. I think it's quite important to really have some guidelines to use the technology that's available, like agents, MD, all the files that are available to guide the AI in the direction that works. for me, it's the question now: how do we make like the specification available in a way that is accessible to the AI, so it can generate useful code and not just some code? And I think looking forward, what is changing there in the next month?
Yeah, no, that's definitely an open question. Considering your talk, which is developer versus manager and stuff, and the conflict that comes there, is there a place for AI in this interface to make it better?
For me, it's human versus human. For me, AI might help to translate something or maybe teach or try to analyze things in the background. But I mean, it's like the typical role conflicts that might be there. I don't know. And for me, AI can take parts of like the role of the manager or maybe, of course, of the developer, of course. And yeah, another thing I read today was like managers are like vibe coders, so they're like engineers without knowing anything about the thing, but they just say something to the engineer.
This is very interesting. So yes, so considering managers are vibe coders, and then developer plus the machine is a black box for them. They throw specifications on it and they expect something to happen. It actually helps us understand the dynamics, because we talk a lot about web coding in the last like a year, and we already pinpointed some challenges in there.
Yeah.
For example, we have a really hard time articulating what we need.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, and I guess this is also true for managers when they interact with developers. They have a hard time to articulate what they need, and developer understands something entirely different.
Absolutely,
like
yes.
LLM understands something entirely different in vibe coding. So this is very interesting, because we also learned how to do better with vibe coding.
Yeah,
right, so we have now frameworks, for example, the spec-driven development,
Absolutely.
for example, the intent integrity chain.
Yep.
We have now methodologies of how to make sure that what we say to the machine
Yep.
is what we really want to happen. And it sounds like if we are now going with our analogy and saying a manager to a developer is what developer to LLM,
Right, yeah.
maybe we can actually use those newly emerged paradigms that help us to articulate the intent better in the manager to developer communication.
Why not? That sounds interesting.
So
like,
how would
like
you
a
do?
spectrum for the manager about the engineer.
Yeah, so spec-driven development for managers to talk to their engineers. How would you see that? What would you suggest of what we learn in vibe coding to the managers to better manage their technical people?
That's an interesting thing. Yeah, I mean, you have different layers, like the interpersonal thing, like the domain technology might separate at least this. Of course, clearly describe what you want from the person to do. Maybe also give some background information, like what the real problem is, not just what I tell you what I want, or somebody else tells me that he wants. So I think as for the machine, the more the better, of course, precise and short, and easy to understand, and no bullshit, of course.
Yeah. So here I think we're onto something.
Yeah.
We need to develop spec-driven development for managers to talk to developers.
Sounds like consulting.
I think there is something there. I think definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Tobias, thank you very much. It was enlightening. It was fun, and I'm sure our audience now have tons of ideas about how to do spec-driven development for managers with the developers. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
And you all stay tuned for more episodes of Verbose Mode by TaxCare at Basel 1 2025 right after this.